Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality, yes, let's love.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy... I hate you because you got that song in my head. I don't like that song.
Y'all.
But he played me the David Archuleta version.
Oh, y'all, I just bought that ticket. Well, maybe we should tell them. I mean, we just had a great idea. We don't know if this is going to crash or burn.
I'm afraid to say it because it could be bad.
It could be bad, but y'all... It's an hour and a half to San Bernardino, and we came up with the idea.
Who wants to go there?
Who wants to go there? We're going there on Saturday, and we realized it's the Lalu finale, and I said, what if we filmed the show in the car? And then Poodle came up with a title.
And like, you know how Bob Hope would do the road movies? So this is Lalu finale, Road to San Bernardino.
We're like Bob Hope and Bing Crosby.
Not Morocco.
Not Morocco.
Not
Road to San
Bernardino.
This could fail miserably, and we'll have to record the episode for real. But hopefully, we're going to see what happens.
You're going to hear we're going to stop at Sonic.
We're going to stop at Sonic.
Get a Sonic order.
We are. We're going to be just like those Sonic commercials.
You'll hear half of my order. I won't allow anyone to know.
You'll just hear
what I
he'll
really
be like,
get.
Yeah, I want to get a tater tots, and then I'm going to...
I'll have that and a cup of ice.
A cup of ice.
That's all I'm eating.
Anyway, that's going to be for Love After Lockup is on the
finale.
Is on the $8 tier of the.
We just came up with it. We just thought,
yeah,
this is Toe.
But this is
the Toe Tell-All Part 2.
Y'all, real quick, we talked about this in the last episode.
Tota.
We are on Wednesday, so you're listening to this episode on Tuesday. So tomorrow. Our pre-sale for more show tickets are we have Los Angeles in February.
We gave more days.
But we have LA, Portland, Seattle, Philadelphia, Nashville, and we're waiting to confirm Boston,
DC, Washington, DC, and Atlanta.
I wanted
to say Atlanta. It's Atlanta.
Yeah, it's Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta. Y'all, that is, and that's the closest to where I come from.
Yes.
So I'm going to have some people coming in, I
maybe
believe.
your brother and sister-in-law will come.
I'm going to invite them.
How far are y'all from Atlanta?
About hour and a half.
Really? You're that close to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Maybe Mother Poodle will come.
No. She might come in via satellite.
What's so funny is if your brother comes to our live show, everyone's going to know it's your brother because y'all look just fucking alike.
Yeah, he may have to wear a disguise. He will not be comfortable. My sister-in-law will not be happy about all the women talking to him.
Y'all, because he looks like Poodle, but he's hot. It's weird. Because you're just
yeah, same to you.
Nothing attractive at all. Anyway, so we're excited. Go the best way. Our Linktree link that's on our
Insta.
It's on our Instagram. We have it in the show notes.
Reality Guys podcast on Instagram.
On Instagram, yes. But go to the Linktree link.
Had a seizure. Okay.
We're working on other places now, Texas, and so maybe Phoenix.
Texas.
So
we're thinking we are planning on doing Ohio this year for the apology tour.
Not this year, but 2022.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anyway, any other announcements? We
Yes.
talked about our Black Curious.
Holiday special.
Oh, the holiday special. Yes.
We got all kinds of holiday shit.
That's true. What holiday special? Oh,
The YouTube Live.
YouTube Live. Yes.
You just went, yeah, the holiday special, and you just went, what is this? You was like, what is this bitch talking about?
I was trying to listen after
What is
last
this
episode.
bitch talking about? I don't remember. Oh, the holiday special. Oh,
I do that with
of
events.
course.
Poodle does that with past dates.
Oh yeah. We did meet.
Have you ever opened the door and that's when you realize you knew them and you
Yes.
you literally open the door and go, oh wait, you were inside me.
Or worse, when someone hits you up with a grinder pick that they've changed, and you look at it like, oh no.
Oh, and then you look at the messages.
Yeah.
And have you down when you recognize it? Did they remember you, or did they forget you too?
No, they remember me. I think they usually remember me.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't forget me. Let's just say that.
Is that what that Carrie Underwood song meant? Don't forget to remember me.
You don't forget the floor show, okay? Okay. Don't forget the somersault twist.
Y'all were
It's at the
overstimulated. We've been listening to David Archuleta's Christmas album. It's so good.
All those albums are good. If P doesn't sing "Oh Holy Night," I swear to God,
We're sitting close. I'm afraid you'll yell at him.
I might.
Maybe
You know the orchestra can play it.
Maybe we can get backstage passes and see
I
him
don't
at
wanna meet
San
him.
Bernardino and be those creepy old gay men that covets like new young gays.
Yeah,
No,
'cause
he just
he's
came out as
He just
bi.
came out.
Good for him.
You sound like Jenny when you said
Boy,
that.
came out as boy.
Um,
Likes a cock. So do I. I'm a chicken.
So, also, are bi-curious for the month
Speaking
of November. That's
November. Yes, of November.
what it is. You guys voted, and it is Addicted to Marriage.
Wait,
And
is this
on our-
November or December?
November, because we're doing it. We just finished November.
Oh, yeah.
Do you smell garlic?
Yes.
Someone's cooking garlic. No one cares.
I thought it was December. I guess not.
No, because the December one we'll do in a minute.
I was hoping we'd forget it. We're busy.
And also, y'all, Love in Paradise is dropping on this free feed now. We did it on our Patreon. It's now airing on TLC. So that's the thing about all of our TLC things. We did that with Single Life too, didn't we? No, we didn't.
We
I forgot we're gonna do that.
what we are do we?
Did we air? Did we drop when the Single Life aired?
I
Did
think
do
we
that?
originally did the Single Life on the free feed.
We did, you're
season
right.
1. Yeah, we did it on the free feed.
But from now on, you guys, whenever something airs on Discovery Plus, and we do it for Patreon, that is 90-day related.
Yes,
we're
because we
going
thought
to.
we thought the first season Single Life. We thought it was going to be like 4 or 5 episodes, and then it ended up being like a whole 10.
That was
season.
awful.
And we were like, we don't have time to do this on the
Yeah.
free feed. But
So-
but we didn't say the holiday show, y'all. The holiday show is people.
Oh, that's right.
At the $15 tier of Patreon, because it's a video thing. We do a YouTube
YouTube
live every
Live.
month, but we're combining them
do
because
it
we
live.
forgot to do November, so we're doing an hour long with holiday specials, and we will have just come back from David Archuleta, so we're going to be
That's
Christmas
right.
infused. And holiday, we might sing some Kwanzaa songs or some Hanukkah tunes. I don't know any Kwanzaa
Hanukkah's
songs.
over by then.
Yeah,
I know some
Hanukkah.
Kwanzaa songs.
You do?
No.
Oh.
I think I did some for Kwanzaa, da 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 da. Joyous Kwanzaa.
That's pretty.
Kwanzaa. I just made it up.
Oh. I was going to say, didn't sound...
I could punk you.
The melody didn't sound very African, and I was like, boy, why does this sound like a polka or something?
Kwanzaa.
We need to start.
There was this one song I remember playing for a school concert. It's like yellow. The kids would scream out the colors of
Oh,
Kwanzaa.
that's pretty.
Yeah, you weren't there.
We weren't there. So, y'all, who we start with? Who was first?
Boy, where have you been?
We
Kenny
talked
and Armando.
Kenny and
Before I start.
it was Benny and Ari. Yeah,
No, Kenny and Armando was first.
it is.
Yes.
Oh
Your
yeah, it's
notes
so
are fucked
short.
up.
It was so short.
I need to talk about Annie Live. Get ready. We're going to take 5 minutes. Some of you have watched
gonna
Annie
be
Live.
And y'all
I'm
wanted
watching.
to know. Y'all wanted to know.
And I got a lot of Instagram people messages asking me what I got 3 messages.
Oh, that's a lot for us.
No, I got like 10.
Okay.
Asking me what I thought about Annie Live. Couple of things.
We're recording. Welcome to the Intimate Portrait. You're sitting right here on Poodle's
You're
couch.
gonna hear me talk about it.
Gung gung.
Like dialing on a phone. Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, boop. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So, star 69.
Remember when you could find that out?
Yes!
And it was a joy.
That was a
Remember when you
wonderful thing.
Remember when you bought, y'all, this is for some of you young, and we actually had to buy another service that plugged into our phone that was caller
Caller
ID.
ID.
Do you remember when you
My
had
parents still have it. Call from 8567. Call from Anthony Jake.
it? They do.
Call from.
They do.
Call from James
Call from.
Anthony.
All right, let's hear it.
Annie Live just premiered on
NBC.
Was it Friday?
Yeah, it was
Friday?
NBC's newest live, or is it
Friday?
ABC? It was NBC.
NBC.
Yeah.
So it was Annie, classic musical. Tomorrow that everybody knows.
Who else did they write? That those people that wrote
Charles
the-
Strauss. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
That show like from the 80s?
No, that's a failed musical.
But no, but it was failed. Yeah, I remember. It
It wasn't in the
80s.
80s. It was in the 70s. Or no, maybe the 60s even. Charles Strauss wrote a lot of stuff. I'm just blanking right now.
Okay.
But Annie is the big one.
Obviously, nothing else well known.
Nothing else extremely well known.
Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. He wrote Applause, the musical version of All About Eve.
I don't know that show at all.
Also not well. That was it's but alive.
Live.
My coma comeback song.
Oh, that's not a good rate musical.
How dare you?
That song's
it's not
okay.
good.
It's not great.
good.
Yeah, but
no, you're right. No, you're right. So, just a little bit spitballing.
He was gay, right?
no, I don't think so.
You tell me a straight man wrote a musical about All About Eve?
I think so.
There's the problem.
I think so.
All right, continue. It's a hard knock life.
The girl who played Annie, fantastic.
Yeah, she
was
sang
the
well.
most real. She sang well.
How'd she act?
She oversung it. No, the acting was great.
Oh, good.
She oversung the whole thing,
Which a lot of girls that do Annie do.
which would have been great if it wasn't for TV.
TV.
You felt like you were kind of being screamed at. She did. I will say the one thing I will give this girl, Celine. I can't remember her last name. They had that fucking dog on set, and they had a real
real dog?
audience. Yeah, they had a real dog. And she had to handle the dog, Sandy, while she was singing the rest of the thing. And the dog was like, look, because there's a live audience. And y'all, here's the thing with an animal on stage, the dog's going to do, even though it's been trained, the dog's going to do whatever the fuck it wants to do, especially with an audience.
This really bothered you, didn't it?
Well, no, I was like, good for you, little girl.
Boy, have y'all seen me try to handle a poodle during a live show?
I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do,
It's
too.
very problematic.
And I'm not even trained.
You're not.
No,
He
you
pissed-
will not train
He
me.
pissed in the corner of the stage on our last live show.
I don't fear a newspaper either.
Only the water bottle works on him, and it's vodka. He just goes, "Aw."
So, the big casting, you guys, Daddy Warbucks was Harry Connick Jr. Kind of creeped me out with that bald thing
He
the
looked
whole time.
weird with the bald
Yeah,
thing. I almost
but
wish he had hair.
I liked him when he sang "Something Was Missing," which is an often cut song. Sometimes when he sings to Annie, he played it at the piano. And it was
And
really
sing.
intimate. I cried my eyes out.
Oh, I heard that
It's
was
a
one of the-
beautiful. Nicole Scherzinger, who I love, was Grace. His
Y'all lead singer of the Pussycat Dolls. She's
She-
the Anne Reiking role.
Yes, she
The
was.
Let's go to the movie.
That's only in the movie.
Oh, it is.
That's written for the movie.
Be kind of hard to do on stage.
Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
but they did NYC, and it was unreal. In that, she sang the shit out of. I think I'm gonna like it here, or I think you're gonna like it here. She sang the shit out of it.
Can she dance?
Yeah, she really did well. She had another song called "We Got Annie" that was newly written that didn't go over as well. Where she's like, "We got Annie, We got Eddie, and it felt like this weird strip song.
I think that was in a TV version that they did.
Oh, is it?
I've heard that before.
It was bad.
I feel like that they did that in the Victor Garber version.
Oh, it is not in the original score.
Because Annie was a movie before it was a musical, right?
No.
It was
Stage
a musical.
musical.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Don't say things you don't
I'm
know.
asking.
So
Why don't you educate?
So, then we'll talk about Miss Hannigan a little bit later. Rooster and Lily St. Regis filling in for Jane Krakowski was Megan Hilty, who was a delight.
I'm sure.
Titus Burgess was Rooster. It was good, but I don't think he knew what to do with it.
Was he just Titus Burgess?
Yeah, but that role is smarmy. And that's just not who he is. I mean, Titus Burgess is a kook, and he's just playing a kook the whole time. He's great
on like the Netflix show, not Billy Gilman, the Netflix show that was popular.
Kimmy Schmidt.
Kimmy Schmidt. I don't know why.
Billy. Don't talk, honey. Don't just nod your head when I'm talking about this. And you're waylaying me, and you're making this longer.
No, I'm just trying to contribute.
So let's talk about Taraji P. Henson as Mrs. Hannigan. Miss Hannigan, sorry.
That I did see, and honestly, that's why I turned it off.
I'm a fan of hers.
I love her.
I loved her in Empire. Mm-hmm. And she actually could sing. She actually sang pretty well. She can sing.
She was on. She was just on something else where she sang, and I was surprised how well she sang.
Here's the thing, you guys. Trust the script you're working with. Trust the lines you're saying. Trust that they're going to be funny. She stepped over almost every line. I know every line of that script. I think there were ad-libs too. Because I was like, because I don't think there were new. I looked at IMDb. There was nothing newly written.
Oh, okay.
Because I was going back saying, is there additional material? Nope. Thomas Meehan is the book writer. And he's dead.
Okay.
So I believe he is. If he's not, he is very old. very, very old.
Very old.
So I think she was ad-libbing. And I think she was thinking that she had to be funny. It was screaming. That's what I said. It was she did not the whole really time. Pronounce. She wasn't really saying the words well. And like she was stepping on people's lines. And there was no direction at all. I don't think she was directed. Now, that happens a lot of times when you got the star. Mm-hmm. When she was the star cast.
Let them do whatever they want, thinking it'll be great.
This was terrible.
Everybody needs a director, whether you're
because you saw a little bit of this, right? And you were like,
I saw this in Hard Knock Life, and I was very impressed with the children's choir.
Hard Knock Life was great. They did a step little move.
They did great, but it was just
they were great.
And granted, comparing that to like, I can't help but compare it to Carol Burnett, but it was just like when Carol Burnett does Miss Hannigan, it's just, and even Kathy Bates, I think, did it for, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
You felt they were horrible people, but you also...
You understood them.
You felt they were just so sad. Didn't make you like them, but they were sad. No. Because at the end of the movie, Miss Hannigan she's the one that doesn't want to kill Annie, and that makes sense. Whereas it was just screaming. It was all just screaming and mean, and it didn't.
It wasn't even that. It was kind of funny, and then I would just say that was the biggest disappointment for me. I will tell you one thing: the script for Annie is funny.
Yeah.
And when you don't trust it, that's what happens.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. And that was the big disappointment. Everything else sounded great.
Really? You didn't have hardly any comments about the singing, so that's great to hear. How was Easy Street?
It's okay.
That's my favorite number of the show.
It's okay. It's just, I've done the show twice, and I've watched the script work. And so I think I was going to be extremely critical because...
Oh, it's my favorite. It's so good. Way you're right, schmarmy. The way Rooster does it is like, and
she was great.
Was Little Girls not good?
Their singing was good. It was it's really hard to get kids not to go, I mean, blah, 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 and start doing it. That was a little bit of that. The girl who was Molly was the best one. of all of them. Everyone else was a little bit like. Then there was that section of Hooverville where all of a sudden we were in a Brecht play, and it was so serious. Like, we'd like to thank you, Herbert Hoover. That is a comedy moment that makes us laugh because we're seeing abject homelessness and poverty. And if you, that's my alarm. It's my alarm to do a cameo.
Oh, Jesus.
So that's the script is funny, and Annie has a lot of comedy in it. There wasn't a lot of comedy in when I saw. That was what was unfortunate. Yeah,
I enjoyed that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ba-da-bum.
That was your Annie 6 minutes.
Yeah. 6 minutes.
I could have gotten through if it wasn't about Billy Gilman or some shit. Kenny and Armando.
Getting in Armando. I just want to say, Hannah's new haircut is so fucking cute.
Icon.
She is an icon. She is an icon. She's gonna be.
She just shut up in the picture and was like.
And then did you see when she even like kissed, not like a kid normally goes. Mwah, mwah. She did it like a model, like.
Didn't want to mess up her lipstick.
She didn't. She
Icon.
is an icon.
Icon.
I agree. Her and Cooper could start their own fashion line. I'd watch Coop.
So,
So Kenny's in L.A. or he's in New York, because y'all he about to have his second grandbaby because
Cassie's about to pop.
She's about. Even Sean Robinson was like, "Whoa, you pregnant, girl."
That's a close camera on that.
But I will say this: you can tell that all those daughters have a gay father because they all looked gorgeous. I thought their makeup. I love the curly hair.
It is really hard for me to say good things about them.
I know, but they look beautiful.
Yeah,
they look beautiful.
So Kenny was like, I want to be with them, but I know I have a new family that I'm trying to blend together. And we get Kenny crying, of course.
Yes.
And Armando says, I'm concerned that spending this time with them will make him want to leave. And Kenny's like, I know, but I keep remembering him, and everyone knows, and I know this, he's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And if I was those kids, I would be like, is there a way I can think about not myself for a minute when I hear something like that?
Yeah, they were. This segment I feel like was very short and also was the least compelling because they kind of ended it flat, and it felt like the kids were. I think the kids realized that they didn't sound great, so they were.
Oh, they did not.
So they were backtracking a little bit,
especially Taylor.
Y'all, Kenny, Armando's mom and sister were there too. They look great, and so. They talk about him going and what that's going to be. But then they talk about the conversation about kids.
Right. So they are. They show the clip of Armando talking to Kenny about wanting to have a baby of his own through in vitro, and Kenny's like, "Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot."
But the mom and the daughter, like, that's the first time we've seen that.
Yeah, Debbie and Virginia said that's the first time they've seen it, and the
mom's like, "Yes, I would love for them to have a baby."
Yes, and Virginia would love for them not to adopt. Yeah. And then Armando explains that in Mexico, that's not really seen as a thing to adopt. You have a child of your own blood.
Yeah.
My own father said that to me.
And y'all...
Matthew, don't fetch a baby. It's got to be blood to carry on the name.
Don't fetch a baby.
That's what my dad said.
Okay, here we go.
As he said, don't fetch it, but get with the woman and imagine it's Burt Reynolds' son.
Now, see, for me, I would not care about any of that.
I don't care about that either. But
I also don't want children. So, yeah. So
not even to suck their life essence and stay younger longer?
No, but then I would definitely need to adopt. I'd need to choose that child very carefully.
Yeah, that's true. So
yes.
I'm with it too, because really, y'all, at the end of the day, we have to remember what Kenny and Armando do in their relationship is no one else's. No one else's fucking business.
Yeah.
Not anyone else's business.
Now, that's when Taylor pipes up and says, well, we feel different. And honestly, them having a baby makes me feel weird.
And I was like, Why does that make you? They did not.
All those like test tubes and like
they did not
weird
give a
stuff.
good reason for this. They did not get a good reason of why they wanted.
I don't like the thought of it. You know
I
why?
don't.
You
I'm
know
getting
why?
a blanket. I'm chilled.
It's right there. You know why they don't like the thought of it, y'all?
Because
I'll tell you. 2 words. Moolah.
Yeah. In one word, inheritance.
Inheritance.
Because,
I'm
they
telling
don't,
you, these kids.
they don't have a good reason.
We're never
for it.
getting Kenny on the show anymore. It's me going off on
Well,
his
if we
children.
do, we're going to put Kenny in a chair and say, do what you want with your life.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You guys, if you're a parent, I'm going to tell you this. And it's.
You look so old right now.
Well, it's freezing in here.
No, it's not. I've got shorts on.
Well, you were talking about Annie, and it got you worked up and hot-tempered. So,
did get me worked up.
but I will say, y'all, it is not your job to take care of your kids forever. Do you need to be a parent to your kid and support them? Yes, but do you need to be financially and emotionally taking actual day-by-day care of your child?
Even more,
no,
it's
they're-
not
they
your
grown.
It's not your job as a child to moralize to your parents about what isn't great, what you don't like.
I think maybe we have a difference because we were worried about our parents moralizing our life not choices, but our soul. And we didn't. So we're lucky in that. So I feel like, why would I ever do that to my parents?
Did you when I think it was Taylor? We're just kind of opposed to them having a baby,
And they're like,
even the way she said,
yeah,
it.
she's like, why do they need to start over? Like, what if they just get like an older kid? And I went, what do you want them to get? A fucking 17-year-old kid?
Some kid who was like thrown away,
But like, if they get
from a good orphanage.
But if they get a 5-year-old or have a baby, it's the same
Not
thing.
like any of those kids who were AIDSy. We don't want any of them.
And is that a thing? Like, it just...
They'd have a problem with that, too. They're
I don't
going to
know
have
if
a
they
problem with any.
Well,
anybody.
they worry about it, but it's just...
Here's the thing.
There's no reason for it.
They said...
What Taylor said, we're worried you will be consumed with a new baby.
And here's the thing. Yes, that they can be concerned. I think what they're not saying, and this would be much better if they said it, but they're afraid to do it because Kenny would react unkindly. We're afraid Armando is pushing you into this.
Yeah. Honestly,
that would have been a concern.
that would be legitimate. That's what we worried about when this first happened. Like,
Yeah.
does Kenny really want to do this?
But they're objecting to the process of having a baby. And it makes them sound worse than they actually are.
The son came out.
I loved this.
But he said,
It's like, it's not about us. It's about what they want.
he said, I'm happy and I'm all for it. So I guess he disagrees.
Yeah.
It really seems like the two younger ones, Taylor and not Cassidy, but Madison.
That's, I think that's actually what it is.
I think those two are the ones that seem to be really upset by it.
Yep. That's all I have.
That's all they have, y'all. That's it.
Should we take a break?
We should, because that Annie thing took forever. So we're
never. I will never. You told a story about Bill George once that was 15 minutes long.
He was bullying me, and my mother had to put him in his place.
I swear to God, y'all.
Y'all, we're going to be right back.
We're back.
We're back.
I got to say one thing. In the words of Gomer Pyle.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, surprise,
surprise.
Beanies in the U.S.
Beanies in the U.S.
Who saw that coming? Who saw that coming?
Again, we don't want to be right, but we called this like the third episode of their first season.
She did her little, as her sister says, you did your little thing in Ethiopia. You had your baby.
Also, you said this, and I agreed with you, but you're the one who did it. You called it too. Victor's in the U.S.
Yep.
And because she was like, it's just so hard to do things in
100%. I knew that as soon as they were talking, too.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but yes, Ari
and also
Benjamin.
when Ellie kind of looked around and probably didn't see it and went, oh. The look in her eye, they went, "Get me back to fucking Seattle. Get me back to my pizza place."
Can I get a mojito here still?
What craft beers do you have?
Is there going to be no pina colada?
No, they'll have pina coladas.
All right.
They just won't have a good pale ale for her.
So let's talk about Benny and Ari. So y'all, Sean, they come in. Sean says, "How's the relationship now?" And Benny said, "Oh, it was good." And then y'all, they call out Leandro, and I went.
You said it right.
Well, she said his name different, but I went. I forgot about him.
There's been so much.
So much has happened to them in this season. I totally forgot of him. But before they called him out, I felt like this was a miss. They actually said this at the very top of the show, and we skipped over it. Before they got to their section, they said, "What are you doing?" And she said that they got the K1 visa, but then they said, and I was like, did they film this? She had a change of heart and actually went with him.
Yeah.
And I went, what a shitty thing to not edit for her and make her look like such
They
a
made
fucking
her
asshole.
look really terrible.
Really terrible when she was like, good for her. She sucked it up.
Thank you for bringing that up. I wrote it down, but we skipped
That's
over
a
it.
really shit. And not that I wanted to like
Honestly,
do
I
something
want
that
to say
supports
this.
Ari, but
She came off really good on this tell-all.
Yep, she did.
And I've got to tell you,
I think
his
better than anybody.
sisters did not.
they did not come off well.
And I'm still confused about a lot of things.
Now,
here.
do I think that Ari could be lying to herself and she's just telling herself and she believes it to be truth?
Yeah. But I'm saying,
Yeah.
Now, we did not lie about her wanting to leave Ethiopia. Her plan to get out of Ethiopia had several steps to it.
Yes.
And the first step was to go to Kenya to separate Benny from his family and friends.
So he wouldn't hear them in his ear.
And he'd be
Smart.
much more reluctant he'd be much more amenable to going to the U.S. without his friends
Ding, ding.
and his sisters.
That's the real reason why I went there. Not because she was ashamed.
No, absolutely
And
not.
honestly, I bet you that's what, if my husband said or fiance said, "Hey, I'm going to go back to Ethiopia," you bet your ass I'm with him there the whole time. I'm going with him to see every friend.
Yep.
So that way nobody says anything in his ear without me there.
There's a reason we just didn't know it. I'm certain there's a reason. My other thing when I was watching this is I guarantee you, she said, we go to the U.S., we get lots of people who can watch the baby. We get free child care for my parents.
Yeah. And the thing
We get this.
I felt like there was a missed thing that they didn't talk about. Has he seen his other child? Because that has become a plot point of this show.
I agree.
This needs to.
I have a feeling they're probably not allowed to talk about it.
I bet you that they're going to be again on Happily Ever, and that's going to be.
They're
part
not
of-
happily ever. They're going to be on 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
not
yeah,
married
yeah.
yet.
Oh yeah, that's true. They're not.
They're gonna. Because before the 90 days will air in. I'm sure they're filming.
Because
Angela was at Beanie's
but
MMA fight.
Wait, but they are. But they. I thought they're not married yet. I thought
They're
they
not
got
married yet. Nope.
They just got engaged.
They're calling fiancés.
So wait, so they have 90 days for him to do this?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, they are going to be on 90 Day
Yep.
Fiancé.
As soon as B95, the season is over, a new 90 Day Fiancé season will start, and I guarantee you they'll be on it. Probably Amber and Daniel too.
That's what I think. Yeah. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. I like them. And I just want to see
what
him
sauce
shirtless.
do I like, Daniel?
God, I want to see him shirtless. He is hot. He is hot.
I hope Kay and Mark are on it, but I doubt it.
They're not on it.
I think he's going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
This is from Love in Paradise.
They're never going to be on this show again because
She didn't like it.
They are the Kyle and Noon. They're just too normal.
I love them.
They're not going to be
They
on.
made me believe in love.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I can tear up thinking about them.
So, anyway, so yes, they're over there now. Things are good. But, so y'all, Leandro, he comes out. And so.
I must say, he looks so much better without his glasses.
He does. He does.
I'd still be hitting it.
He's way more your type than mine.
That nerdy kind of
Like
look.
he didn't even iron his shirt.
Ooh, and he had terrible shoes on. You just couldn't see him from
He's
the thing.
such an academic nerd.
I love him. They can fuck too. I'll give them that. I promise you. The academics can fuck. I was one. That's how I know.
Yeah, but you're not really an academic type. I mean, I know you are because you went to school and have like 4 degrees.
Yeah, I've my life.
But you were like the wild child. In
I was the
academia.
fun one.
You were like the fun rebel, where everybody else was like super. Like people we just talking about like something Chaucer wrote to music, and then you said, "Does anybody want to do coke?"
That's accurate.
That's accurate. And then next thing you know, they're all high and blasted.
Remember, can we talk about the new Thomas Taylor stick
Yes.
set, please?
Can you do some ecstasy off my dick?
Sure.
And the next thing you know, they're all blasted, and they missed their TA class they have to teach, and you went home. I just described your college experience.
Pretty much. So, and I wrote down, this is so cringe watching Leandro with them again. And
Yes.
and Sean said, she wrote some shit. So, Leandro, was it strange when Ari called you and told you that she was pregnant with another man's baby?
And I went, what?
That happened,
Y'all.
Then that was her husband, and then
She was married to him at the time and called him.
We were like kind of like distant.
and y'all, she's like,
Well, I was really calling him to ask for advice, but I knew I didn't want to hurt you.
again, no boundaries.
So
with this
it was
one.
really hard. I didn't want to hurt him, but I needed him to console me.
and it's all about her.
And I went, good God, you're horrible.
Everyone in Ari's life is like this for her.
This is why she did come out looking better.
She looked much better than on
But I
previous
will
tell-alls.
say, I do think I watch her. I feel like, I mean, Benny agreed to it, but I feel like she's just so controlling of him.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like he's just like a little prisoner to her, like in that house. And now that he's with her family,
Yeah.
y'all cut to, I mean, he's already learning welding. He's not going to dance anymore. He's not going to have an artistic.
I
not,
want him to learn a trade.
Not that honestly he was that crazy talented. I mean, Soulja Boy's a way better rapper.
He did play the butt bongos.
He
and
did
leg
play the
piano.
bubble. Boom, 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 boom,
Let-
boom. Soulja Boy's gonna be on before. We're gonna see him next week.
With BGL 2.0.
Yeah.
This is not a music video shoot.
I'm saving my voice.
So, anyway, Leandro says, Binyam's talking about the Leandro and Ari talking Spanish all the time. He doesn't understand it. And Victor's like, you need to learn Spanish.
Yeah, bitches, I learned some Spanish, man.
And then Leandro says, but listen, Beanie, if I was a girl, would that bother you? I know, I initially went there too. But I'm just a boy.
If you've never seen Beyonce sing that live at a thing,
That's one of my favorite Beyonce songs.
that's what made me. I watched her sing it live. I think like on Ellen, and then that's when I was like, not
that
all
and
the
when
single ladies.
That when I
is what
heard
made me-
"Love on Top," and I was like, okay, you can sing. You can sing the fucking.
I
world.
love Love on Top. That's but I thought Beyonce was like, oh, she's just like a pop star. But when I saw her
Yeah.
sing that, I went, she's a motherfucking artist.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think anybody's arguing with us.
No one's
about,
arguing with us. We have come for her.
You know, I think that Lemonade was just not artistic.
we
Someone
have
saying that.
come for her acting ability. Yeah,
I wasn't talking about that. Let's keep it positive.
So, but Beanie said. But anyway, someone says. I think Kenny said. They're like. But if I was a girl, that would be a problem. And Kenny's like, yeah, but you're the ex-husband.
Yeah, that doesn't really count because, that, and he said, you know, and if somebody called me, he's like, there's no comparison. In fact, that wouldn't fly with me either. And I was like, yes.
So Leandro basically says it's all about his insecurities, but I understand the jealousy. And Leandro's like, if she tells me to back off, I will.
Finally, no, say that. That's what Leandro finally said. Y'all, we're talking about Benny and Ari. And Ari saying, well, Benny as... And finally, Leander, he said, it's up to Ari. Ari is the one I have the relationship with.
She's silent as the dead, y'all.
And
This is what she does. She
that's
lets
what I wish
other
Sean
people
Robertson
fight.
would have said, or somebody else would have said. Ari, What is it like for you knowing that you're doing this to your
She is
fiance?
more than happy to help other people and comment on other people's responses. She lets other people fight it out. Unless they're calling her out directly, and then she shuts down or walks off the set. So
That was a missed opportunity.
let's jump into this, and I want to ask you, what is up with the sisters? Are they? Do you think they want to break Ari and their brother up?
I think they want no, because they even Wish said ultimately I want the baby to be with his father and mother. But I think what it is, they weren't wrong in what they were trying to do. They're trying to call out. I believed everything the sisters said. I think they're trying to call out Ari's hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And they don't have the words to say, 'cause especially in their culture, women don't control men.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to say that, I don't think. But
What hypocrisy specifically were you think they were trying to call out?
I think the fact that, like, I think that they're right about the whole nanny thing.
Interesting.
I think that probably this nanny, the reason I think they're right is because Benny never defended it. Even when Ari said in a very controlling way, Benny, tell them that you love this nanny. Tell them she's your best friend.
No, he's gonna do what his sisters want more than Ari.
But he's in America stuck.
But I'm saying he didn't really say anything either way.
But no, even when Ari tried to get him, like, call him out and say, he didn't even defend her then. He didn't defend what Ari was saying, and he didn't agree with his sisters.
I would say, what do you think the nanny said then?
I think when I watched this, I think there's truth, honestly, on both sides.
Right.
I think that the nanny probably was telling other people what Ari, that's what the sisters were saying, they said that the nanny was spreading gossip about Benny and them. I think that's probably, but I think I
just don't think any of this was clear. I
agree. I think the sisters were trying to get Benny to potentially do something, maybe to keep the baby in Ethiopia and get rid of Ari.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
I asked you if the sisters wanted to break them up.
But I think none of this was yes. But it was, but no. But
it's a long way around this.
Well, no, but the long way around meaning, like, I guess when I heard that break them up, it's all about the kid to them. It's about
that's what I'm saying.
And but there's it. But that's again. This was a big long argument, and then Ari, things started to get real, and they started to try to call Ari on some stuff, and Ari was like, "I'm leaving."
Right.
And she did what Ari does.
But my question is, she's saying why. The nanny feels like a red herring to me.
Agreed, though. Agreed.
I think the sisters want them done. They don't like her. They haven't from moment one.
No.
They're
sorry, y'all. The neighbor's bowling balls upstairs.
They have decided that they have to have her. They have to tolerate her a little bit. Mm-hmm. And especially if you're even in the South, if you're a woman and you marry into a family or you really aren't part of the tribe, it's really hard to get in.
It's really hard. And they showed that clip of Ari telling Benny that Wish told me that the other girl's in the house.
Yeah.
So, because Ari...
my theory is she told them that, and she made it even more than it was, even if it was that.
Because Ari takes things and puts it through her own interpreter.
And Wish knows that makes Ari angry, and
Ari said, "You got upset." This, y'all, it's about money, and they're not saying it.
Yeah.
Wish asked.
That's totally right.
Wish said, "I asked Ari if I could stay in the house, y'all, but probably because." They live in a really nice house that Ari's parents fucking paid for. And probably it's not only this party house, but Wish, they want to stay in this nice house. But that's weird of you're asking Ari, why wouldn't you ask your brother if you could stay in his house? Because he doesn't fucking own that house. It's Ari's parents. So they asked Ari, and Ari said no. Because she's, again, it's like, I don't want people in my house. That's when I agree when Wish said, well, everybody else is in that house partying anyway. Why do you fucking care?
Yeah.
So I think I think what made them look bad. The sisters don't have these pure motives.
No,
They
and
want to use Ari for what they can too.
But I feel like the sisters are trying to say we don't. The sisters will never say we don't want to break you and our brother up.
Because
So of course
because of the money.
they're going to be Ari's enemies. So I didn't think it was weird at all. That's why I was kind of like, I understood. Now, what I don't love Ari doing is like, you're pathetic, blah, 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 walking off the stage.
And saying that I'm never going to talk to you. You're not my family. I'm like.
And with Benny's like, yes, you are. They're your family now.
And Benny kind of, it's a misogynist, but I agree with Benny's saying, but he kind of said, well, they're just women. Well, that's a little
It's like, I'm going to leave the problems to the women.
It's not that they're women, but it's that they probably do this though all the time. They fight and then they get back together.
But he says it's the girls' problems. That's what he said. He won't get involved. And that's...
Do you think that's the right way to go about that or no?
No. Well, no. He has to say... with Ari, he's never going to win.
I literally, words, mouth, you took it.
With Ari, he's never going to win. She has to be first, and everyone is after her.
Exactly.
And if the sisters are going to want to push that...
And the nanny is her best friend, because of why?
Because the nanny agrees with her.
Because why?
Money.
She pays the nanny. And I bet you they pay the nanny really well.
Yeah.
And the nanny, of course, is going to... Guess what, y'all? If they weren't paying, I bet the nanny would say all this shit about Ari.
Well, and I do believe that the nanny probably said, you need to stay with him.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying I don't know why the sisters would make up the idea that the nanny was trying to break them up. That's what feels like a red herring for me.
That does feel like a red herring. I think that didn't make sense. Like why?
And I don't know. And even if the nanny is gossiping, so what?
But
if it's true,
I think that sisters just want the nanny out of the picture.
Yeah, and
so
why?
That way they want the nanny out of the picture, so that way they can get Benny to like break up.
Yeah,
yeah.
One less ally for her.
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah.
So I just saw this. It's a lot of mush. It's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot in this season for them that we still don't know. I still don't know why there was no footage of the house.
Yeah,
missed
opportunity
of the party house.
It seems a little bit, y'all. Like I feel like I don't know if it's because Ari's past mental history, the little bit that we know, and like. Y'all, we've seen like the scars on her arm. We know that she's cut and stuff.
She's had some.
So I don't know if TLC is treating her with kid gloves because of that, or if they're treating her with kids gloves because y'all, Ari and Benny are ratings gold and people like watching them and talking about them.
But why would they be treating Benny with kid gloves?
But don't you feel like they're not? The producers aren't giving us the whole story on purpose.
Yep.
That it just feels not.
I think it's a lot more about money, like you said.
It feels like a finesse thing, and they're wanting to like squeeze more out of this storyline.
Well, I think also they're a commodity because they know they're going to be on 90 Day Fiancé. So we still have to, are they or aren't they kind of thing.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think this season for them was really fucking messy.
Yeah.
And storytelling-wise, their conduct-wise, it's interesting because you say that because I don't know if they want to treat Ari with kid gloves because they brought it. They filmed the Leandro sequence when everyone was against her.
Yeah, I know, but that she already was used to that. Like they didn't. Again, if they have footage of that party thing, I know people fucking film shit on their phone.
I know
that is the most perfect thing to show in the tell-all and have
it's
Ari react
really
to it
frustrating.
And say, Ari, what is it like for you seeing that? Come on.
It's really frustrating.
I know there's video.
And there was definitely documentary footage of it. They were all there with him.
They were all there.
Because how long was she in the U.S.? Like
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
2 months.
So there
They didn't tell the crew to just leave 2 months when they've got to come back.
And there was stuff that they filmed him when he was
with
there.
his friends. So that's when
but they never filmed him in that house.
I don't get
in the
it.
party house.
I'm angry about it.
Ellie and Victor, we do have Sean Robbins saying, "Well, I know there's love there."
Oh yeah, well, I know there's love there. She's got her little ending quotes.
So Ellie and Victor.
He's in the U.S. They, but
I don't have a ton to say about this.
But it's not clear. Like if
they have a K1 visa.
So they are on the K1. So he's there.
And the only reason y'all remember that she went down there is because of COVID.
So hear me out. He said, "I'm here, but I'm planning not to be here for long." Are they going to be on 90 Day Fiancé? Because he's there.
He's saying he doesn't want to be.
But was he just saying that?
That's a good point.
But, I mean, they could be on... Usually on 90 Day Fiancé, they often... I could see them having 2 couples that we know and then having the rest new.
Yeah, but
Why would they not? They've already filmed them.
There's nothing
They know that they fight and they have combat. They know that.
But there's nothing in that what Victor has shown us that says that he wants to live in a city like Seattle.
I agree. But why wouldn't you, if you got over here and you want to get married anyway, why wouldn't you get married in the U.S. so then you have both?
Yeah, but the K1 visa implies he's going to stay there.
That's true. I guess if they get married too, then it limits when and how
because he can't go back.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I think he's going to be visiting for a while.
I guess it's not that hard where he's from to come and visit.
Because so y'all, I don't think he's on the K1 visa, and so the goal of the K1 visa is marriage and citizenship.
Exactly.
Or
so if he's there,
staying in the country, yeah. I don't know. So they can't go back probably because they're worried about that. And her friend Hiromi is there, who we love.
Yes.
Who told Ellie before she left, "Don't touch anything."
Don't touch it.
Like a 3-year-old.
So
my mother would say that. Not poodle. Jaybird, don't touch anything.
And so Sean said, "Do you think Ellie saw the red flags and chose to ignore them?" And Hiromi goes, "Yes." She's just like very.
We all need this friend.
And so,
especially Ellie.
She's like, yeah, because he cheated. And Victor said, am I the first person to ever cheat on anybody?
Who hasn't cheated?
Who's with me?
Who hasn't cheated?
Kenny just raises that hand up and is like, me. I'm telling you, co-host of the year.
Just the saltiest gay on the panel. I love it.
Bitch.
Anyway.
Corey didn't raise his hand.
But boy... What? How bad did Victor come off right there?
He did come off there great.
Everyone on the stage was like, and
even
Sean was like,
and Ellie even said, which is true. She said, "I feel like you're not taking responsibility for his actions."
Yep.
And then her and Hiromi kind of had this conversation right there, and she said, "Do you trust him?"
Pause.
And Hiromi said, "Well, just the pause tells me." She's like, "No, I was thinking," and this is something that kind of gave me hope about their relationship, because Ellie said, sorry y'all, my nose itches. Ellie said, yeah, I trust him. He gets anger issue, and we're worried about that because he's had like a past with TV. But she said, and she just said it and they kind of skipped over, but she said, but he's going to therapy. And I went, whoa, you have a...
Did he say that? I thought he said she was talking to someone about it.
He's going to therapy for it.
Huh.
For a black man from in an island country to
go
to
it's a big deal.
That's a big fucking deal. And the fact that he's doing that to me goes, whoa, maybe he's really looking at trying. I was just impressed with that.
Yeah. And what was interesting is they talked about money, and
they show that fight, y'all.
Yeah.
And Hiromi has not seen it. Remember, this was filmed in August. It's December now.
Yeah.
That fight happened in like November.
Yeah.
So this was not, y'all, they hadn't seen a lot of the season.
And I need to say, too.
She was like this. Just shocked.
That Ellie's like, yeah, money, but talk about money really triggers him. And it's like,
and I don't know why.
And I don't really know why. And I went, really? You don't know?
That was so fucking clueless.
The privilege that Ellie walks around with.
The thing that when she's, you spot it, you got it. I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but I'm seeing it because when she said you're not taking responsibility for your own actions, I don't think Ellie does either.
No, not once. Like killing your husband. Y'all, me and a bunch of armchair detectives are going to figure this one out.
But she does.
If she's ever on again, we'll get to the bottom of this.
Lord, I do feel like Ellie feels like because I pay everything, then I'm absolved from any responsibility.
Oh, yeah, she does.
And I'm like, come on, girl.
She is white privilege dressed up she's got a couple tattoos.
In an emerald Wizard of Oz dress.
Yeah. But
Her makeup looked good.
she's like, oh no, I'll never give him any of my credit cards. Why
no,
would I do
no.
that? So
And honestly, she's like, I think I've given him like $5,000.
that's it.
Look, y'all. I know $5,000 is a lot of money. It is a lot of money.
But think about George and Anfisa.
Visa, yeah, and think about other people. I was like, just $5,000.
Think about David. How much David gave
Annie.
No, David from gave to what's her name?
David from
Lana.
Oh yeah, David and Lana. Well, he was an idiot.
Yeah,
We're about to do David and Annie on our Patreon.
yeah, we are.
That's coming
Season
up.
5, but not we're about to. Maybe 15 weeks down the line.
Oh yeah, we're on episode. Sorry, I got confused where we are.
Yeah, you get confused a lot.
Anyways, he can call me cheap or whatever, but it's just instead of saying it triggers him and I don't know why. What if you said it triggers him and I would want to say, well, Ellie, why do you imagine that he's triggered? What can you think of that would she never makes that step. I'm glad I'm boring you. Y'all poodles just yawn.
Hiromi says, well, here's the thing, Sean. She's always calling me. She's always very crying. She's upset about things that he said to her. And Kenny's like, you guys need to learn to fight correctly.
That is such a beautiful. I've said this before, y'all. Talk to your significant other and
or
say.
He says fight right, which is in. That's not but the adverb.
Y'all ask your significant other, how do you fight? What do you do when you get mad? When you're angry, how are you validated? How can you be heard? Ask those questions when you're in a good mood, you're having a drink, or you just sucked each other off, whatever, or you're scissoring.
Maybe not then, because then
you're just going, what makes you angry? Actually, that would turn you on.
A little bit.
Anyway, Kenny also says, like, Sean asked a little bit, like, who has finance stuff? And again, Kenny's like, I'm the budgeter. He has 40 things in his Amazon cart.
75.
Right 75. He read him for filth on the air. Do you imagine how many cute little tchotchke things Armando has in his Amazon cart?
So it's a good thing.
Poor Kenny's like, another French bulldog statue. Jesus, Armando.
Another headband for Hannah. Really?
Does she really need another bow? You just cut her hair.
Basically, where was I?
We're kind of done with them. I don't have anything else for them.
And Binyam just opened a bank account.
Oh, yeah.
You hear that? So because they combined their finances.
Yes.
Yeah. So Corey and Evelyn.
Serve Jesus.
Okay. Honest opinion. Do you believe any of this?
I was going to say fake.
Where my girls at?
They're fine.
They're fine. Again, so y'all, my big thing with this is
She's a good actress, though. I'll give her that.
she's a great actress. And why are we all of a sudden just acting like Evelyn's the fucking Mother Teresa?
I don't think she had seen the Jenny scene.
No, she hadn't. But why are the moderate? Why Sean Robertson? Why is
It is interesting.
everybody asking like when she fucking like raged at him and told him, "Get out of our house. We're done.
Now,
I never want to see you again."
That was not mentioned. They did mention
They acted like she was a fucking nun.
They did mention her being on a break,
but they
yeah.
never acted though. I just felt like they totally made Evelyn look like the saint.
And well, Corey did say, I did get Evelyn a therapist. And they're like, wow, I'm glad that you got her one.
Yeah.
Instead of you going to therapy together.
Y'all, we have Lipsy and Leslie, her sisters, and then Matt and...
They look great.
They look great. And then Matt and Taylor. Matt didn't look as hot.
He didn't.
And then he opened his mouth, y'all, and he got less hot.
Yeah. Oof.
Again, that's another person. Talking about, if you notice, talk about like he and that's where I got kind of this idea of a lot of evangelical men, like when women
They're like, you don't know anything
when
about
a woman corrected something about them,
Yeah.
they got so defensive.
Oh,
And the way that he and Corey both are blaming the women for this,
Oh, right.
that was the whole thing. Where
He blamed his sister-in-law.
Yeah, this episode did not make Mormon men look good. Again, it's not a representation of all Mormon men, but well,
No. So they're basically talking about Matt and Taylor come on and they're saying we don't really have a relationship with Evelyn.
No.
And Evelyn's like they were never kind to me. They wouldn't speak to me when the parents weren't around.
Yeah,
which I could kind of see.
oh,
But I think it is a two-way street. She was probably pretty quiet to them too.
I mean, we saw the video, y'all. She did not. She was not.
She was out of her element, and also she's not the Queen of Ingabao when she's in Mill A,
And she-
not even Mill B.
It's not even Mill. It's y'all. It's Mill.A.
Not even dot. It's just Mill A.
Or Mill Space A.
Yeah.
What a terrible name for a town. God.
Someone let me know if there's a Mill B.
Someone really fucked their cousin who named that town.
I'm sure there's a reason, or there's not.
Well, yeah, it's just that's where Mill A is. They needed it to know, where do you go to the mill to get grain? Mill A. Mill B, we got your corn.
That was isolated. Do you remember when they were going to their house? It was just a pine forest.
It was just, it's the fucking boondocks. And so I do love it that Matt, they're talking about him eating the bull ball soup or whatever.
The girls, yeah, the
and
sisters.
Matt was like, yeah, that was a really immature way to do that. And Corey goes, thank you, brother.
But he was still laughing
and
about
then
it.
Matt then went, yeah, but it's really funny.
And what was interesting is I can't believe this. Corey said, I've been here 7 years and none of my family has ever visited me.
I agree.
That tells you something about his family.
So this wasn't talked about, but I just wonder. Now, look, y'all, this is 100% speculation. I don't know any of their family at all. But this is a white family living in the sticks. And their white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed son brings home a Latinx, dark-skinned girl with an accent. Is this like...
his mom was always kind to her.
That's true, but I'm wondering... But not the whole family. I'm not saying the whole family, but I'm wondering, like, why wouldn't you go 7 years?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because they're afraid to travel out of their own comfort zone. That's why.
Okay.
I don't think it's racism.
You never know, though.
No, but I'm saying especially from the mom and the dad. Because Evelyn, remember, was very upset, too. He's like, he loved
But the mom and the dad,
too.
but I'm just saying that Polly Taylor over there with her fucking sweater and her little... you just never know. I don't want to make the assumption, but
I'm pushing back against that because I know people who are in the sticks and they're just afraid to go places like that.
That's true. I agree with you. And maybe it's a bit of... But I'm just saying that it makes you wonder. But I agree. Like, everybody where I'm from, a lot of people, they don't travel because it's scared of getting out of your...
They don't speak the language.
Yeah, why would you want to go somewhere where you didn't speak a language? Where I'm like, I would love to go somewhere I don't speak the language.
No, what it tells me is that they almost wrote Corey off.
But the
when he
only
left.
reason I say a little bit of if they're potentially racist is because why would they mistreat her when she came to their place when they were in their own comfort of their own home?
Yeah.
And they still mistreated Evelyn. It doesn't make sense. Why would they? I know she acted aloof, but to me, if you're this, especially if you really
my
have
theory,
this like Christian belief, you really would want to be nice to this
I agree,
person.
but my theory is it's more about she wasn't Mormon.
That too, yeah. So it's a lot of that's. I think there's a lot of layers to this of why, and we don't really. It's not a one thing.
Yeah. I would say though the fact that no one from his family visited in 7 years tells you they wrote him off when he left.
I think that because I want to come back to you a little bit. Yeah, they're from a small town, but Mormon people believe in travel. They do it. They do missions. They send their kids off.
That is true.
So they have a different view than like people where we're from. In
But this is not to evangelize. You
that's true.
you travel
That's true.
to evangelize.
But no, so I don't know really if it's all this small town. I think you nailed it. They just wrote him off.
They wrote him off.
I think probably more than any other reason, it's just that y'all, because don't forget, if you really watch the beginning seasons of this, y'all, Corey's a fucking deadbeat fuckboy.
Yep.
And he still is.
But you can't. I know his mother. That scene where they went back with his dad. The first thing when Evelyn was kind of like where it was more Corey centered, the dad really did try to engage and talk with her about.
I think it's just more though. But even it
his
also mother
could be,
probably won't go without his dad.
That's what I was thinking. It also could be that once the dad died, the family just fragmented,
which happens to a lot of people.
Yep.
Happened to my dad's family
Again,
when Grandma Hazel
we
died.
don't know.
We don't know.
It is,
but that's the
strange.
problem. We don't know. We're having to speculate a lot.
Yeah.
Because Sean nobody ever asked why. Because Taylor was like saying Taylor's trying to say Corey flipped on me.
Right.
She said Corey acted nice.
Yeah, and
to
this
me.
is weird because we don't know this dynamic. I'm like, who is this girl and why is it spelled Taelor?
I wondered when you were going to say that.
That's the Revenge of the Sith spelling.
Taylor.
Taylor. I am
I'm
Taylor
sorry,
the Magnificent.
She looked fucking horrible.
Yeah.
In that black sweater. What kind of it was like a doily.
It was terrible.
Oh,
terrible.
Horrible.
Terrible. So, y'all.
But that's where you said Evelyn's the first to see. Because Corey says, well, you weren't the nicest to her. And I could see it. And I didn't appreciate that. And instead of Evelyn going, I'm so glad that he stood up for me, Evelyn says, see, he blames her and he blames me, right?
Yeah.
She just throws Corey under the fucking bus.
Well, that's normal for them.
I know.
But then, y'all, we think everything's going to be resolved. And then out of the wilderness comes, well, we can tell that, like, at least Corey's got Jenny.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Fucking Steven with a V.
Ugh.
And people are like, whoa, he's piling on.
Oh, for sure. And Corey said, dude, you're like the worst person. And Kenny's like, yeah.
And then they
shouldn't have
watch
done that.
the Jenny clips, and the sisters are, of course, furious. And Evelyn's like, I about threw up. And the sisters say he's not a real man. And the only problem is, and he never said, do you have feelings for Jenny? And I'm going to sound like I'm defending Corey here, but I'm not. But what Corey was trying to do, and they're like, the producer said, do you have feelings for Jenny? Corey was trying to do a teaser and make it more interesting.
He was.
And to me, that was so obvious.
He was trying to make a joke of it and be like.
He was, and because he would say, if he would have said absolutely not, it'd make him look like a complete asshole who only wanted to fuck Jenny.
Yes.
But he knew if he said anything, it would make it would if he said yes, I do, which I don't think is really true. He just wanted to fuck her, y'all.
He just wanted to fuck her.
Yeah.
And y'all, he's a fuck boy.
But
and he thought he was single.
He could not say that on air.
I still don't think Corey did anything wrong.
Especially when they were broken up.
I don't
agree.
think he did one thing wrong.
That's why this is all.
And I wanted
a mute point, as people say.
Well,
it's a moot point.
I wanted someone to say that. Even Ari. God, I can't believe this.
I was going to say, I agree with a lot of what she said.
Even when Ari said to Evelyn, she was like, I think you keep reminding him and saying of everything he's done wrong.
Like me.
I did that. And Evelyn says, yeah, but I keep finding out things. And I went, yeah, but you also keep reminding him always because y'all, if you tell people they're a fuck up, guess what they're going to do? They're going to fuck up.
I still say they belong together.
For sure.
They're fine.
I think a lot of this is just fake.
Yeah.
They're going to
ride this train.
Evelyn's going to have a baby.
Reluctantly.
She's not going to want to. Very reluctantly. Evelyn does say that this is a toxic relationship. She uses that
I think
word.
she's right. And I think she's actually being part of it.
I think
she's part of the toxicity.
I think she's more complicit than he is.
Mm-hmm. I think any relationship she had for a long time would be a toxic relationship.
For sure. I think she's got a lot of shit she needs to work out.
The
therapist even told her that.
So Sean does what we can all agree there's a lot of love here.
Even
if we didn't solve anything today.
That's the tell-all, everybody.
And there's a little post thing where we're talking about Kenny and Steven.
And Kenny just says to Steven, dude, if you want to...
He said, I know you love your life.
She's like, you got to cut this shit out.
You got to cut this shit out. You can do it.
And they hugged. Kenny's a great person.
He really is.
I would love to hang out with him. However, we'd have to end that night early because he needed to go be in bed by 9:30. He's never going to come on our show.
I will say I need to be in bed by 9:30.
You're an old lady.
But I don't have the bags under my eyes. You do.
Yours. I can see your bags from here.
You know what? You and Armando can go party the night away, and Kenny and I will go cross stitch and go to bed.
We'll be in the back doing Twinkie faces.
It's true. It's true. And we'll get up. Kenny and I will go on a hike on Runyon and have breakfast.
Enjoy that.
Anyway,
and basically that was it, y'all. Sumit said I'd realized I couldn't come out about my marriage on TV, and then that's all we really got.
That's really it.
It was a messy tell-all, but I liked it.
I liked it. It was a messy tell-all. They're getting better. I think hopefully they're never going to give us a 3-part tell-all again.
A 3-part Zoom tell-all.
We're watching the first 3-part tell-all this season of our Happily Ever After season 2. What's so famous about that tell-all?
I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, y'all. That's why we do it. You can go to realitygaze.com. Hey, everybody, Linktree link if you want it tomorrow on Wednesday. If you want to get a pre-sale ticket, you need, again, we're going to say this again.
For our Patreon, though.
Yes, but for Patreon and Supercast Sissies, again, Patreon, you're going to get an email with probably, if you're listening to this, it's Tuesday, so you're going to get an email on Tuesday night. And our Supercast Sissies, we're going to drop an episode on Tuesday night, a very short 2-minute episode where we talk about
give you the pre-sale code.
And it'll be in the show notes. Again, y'all, we could kind of do a little bit of finesse at this last LA show, but if these houses are double the size we were at before, but if the show sells out, it sells out. So we love y'all. But if you weren't a part of hopefully it won't sell out with a Patreon, but we can't play fucking Carnegie Hall yet. We don't have 1,000 seats.
And I know some of you said, you can add a show. You don't realize how theaters are booked these days.
This time we're doing a tour. So we can't add a show because we've got to be somewhere else because
Nashville one day we got to be
Poodle fucked that stage manager on our Friday night show. And
can't be there. I've been running out of town.
And he's got to tell his wife the next day that he's gay and he has HPV. So we got to leave.
Every town ends with pitchforks and torches
we're running
at the airport.
So if it's worth it for you to join for $5 to get the tickets, we get it. If not, that's just the way it falls.
I can't hear anymore. That we've given you these chances.
Please don't message us and say, I can't get a ticket. I sold out because we feel like shit and we can't do anything.
Yep.
So I just want to preface that. But we love it. But don't worry. We'll come see your city again in probably a year.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We plan to do more tours. It's not the end.
Yes. All right, everybody. Again, remember... sharing is caring, or what did we say? Give the gift of reality.
Give the gift of reality, guys.
Tell your friends, your family,
tell your friends,
your principal, your youth director,
your homophobic aunt.
Yes, that preacher you got who you secretly think is gay. Tell him about our.
Tell him about us. We'll bring him out.
We will bring him out. Oh, Poodle.
And if he's hot, give him my number.
We call these people lonely hearts, Poodle, because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love?
Yes. And if you're upset about your father wanting to have a baby,
ugh, a baby.
You know,
if you're upset, you can fuck off, and then when you're done with that, you can what?
You can call us.
Call us.
We'll see you before the 90 strikes, before the season 90
yes.
season 5,
and we'll see you in Pacoima on tour.
Pacoima? I'm not going to Pacoima. San Bernardino.